The Jurassic and Dinosaur Delusion. It's amazing to me how messed up things have gotten with dinosaurs and the whole Jurassic ideas and things like that. Evolution has become basically a worldwide religion. And there's some things that people ought to know about simple words like Jurassic and dinosaur. The word Jurassic didn't even exist until somewhere between 1825 and 1835 was when that word was very first coined. And it's supposed to represent a period of time more than 100 million years ago. This is beyond ridiculous. The word dinosaur was first invented in 1841. And I believe the word originally just meant terrible lizard, which really is just referring to a big, ferocious-looking type of a lizard. It's crazy because if you look at things like the Komodo dragon, that'd be a pretty ferocious lizard. And dragon is another interesting word because dragon has existed through all of human history. There's histories wrote about dragons that date back as far as humans date back. The word dragon is found in the Bible over and over. I was fascinated and blown away by different dinosaur ideas that I was taught as a kid. And I believed that maybe dinosaurs had lived millions of years ago, but that's absolutely not true. If a person just simply looks at the Bible and looks at a few things in the Bible makes it very clear that God created the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that in them is in 6 literal days, right around 6,000 years ago. And of course, the word dinosaur isn't in the Bible. It didn't exist until 1841. But you find creatures that are described in the Bible that very clearly look like what we would consider dinosaurs today. If you turn to Job chapter 40 and 41, God talks to Job in those passages, and God tells Job to behold now behemoth, which I made with thee. So this was a creature that Job could look at and behold. God said he made it along with man, that it was alive and that Job could behold it. But this behemoth creature is described as the chief of the ways of God, which in other words, I believe is pointing to it's the very biggest creature that God ever created. And the way that behemoth is described would kind of fit our very biggest dinosaurs that we think existed. God said that he moves his tail like a cedar or cedar tree. There's no animal that I know of that had a tail that would move around like a tree, except for our very biggest dinosaurs. They had humongous tails that could have moved in a way described like a tree. And the same behemoth, God said that he didn't worry at all if the Jordan rushed into his mouth, the Jordan River, and that this creature actually thought he could probably drink the Jordan. That would obviously be referring to a very big creature. And of course it was. And I believe it's chapter 41. It's either reversed or whatever, but chapter 40 I think is Behemoth, 41 I believe is Leviathan. And Leviathan is described as a fire-breathing creature. God says there's none that is so fierce that they dare to stir him up. That the mighty are afraid at just the sight of this creature. And it talks about him being able to breathe fire. And one thing that you may want to look into, because you may not think that that's possible for a living thing to have anything to do with fire, But look up the bombardier beetle on YouTube and watch some of those videos. Here we've got a little bug that uses basically a chemical combination that basically is a fire. And so anyway, I don't want to drag this video on too long, but I wanted to put together a video with this new Jurassic World movie coming out, which I think might be a alright movie for people to watch. You know, it looks like I'm sure they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars making it and whatever. And it'll be a huge movie, I'm sure. But it's all based on a lie. Dinosaurs didn't live millions of years ago. Dinosaurs have always lived with man. Man called them dragons mostly. And it's interesting because the Chinese calendar, they've got different animals that represent different months. And every single one of the animals is alive today, except for one that we don't think of as being alive today, and that's the dragon. But of course, we've got Komodo dragons and bearded dragons that are still alive today. And if you look in some of the ancient Chinese histories and stuff, they have histories of different Chinese kings that had royal dragon feeders and royal dragon keepers. But anyway, I just wanted to give you something to think about, because the very words dinosaur and Jurassic are deceptive to begin with. And dinosaurs have always lived with man if we actually understood what they really are. The word dinosaur just means terrible lizard, and we've got lots of lizards that are still alive today. They're not as terrible as they would have been if they had a much longer lifespan. And I do believe some of the dinosaurs may have died out within maybe 1,000 years or two after Noah's flood. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. It don't matter. Thanks for your time.